Hello and welcome to the Woolsack Cricket Grounds at UCT here in Cape Town. You're joining the SA Open and Women's Nationals 2022 semi-final bracket of the women's section. It's a game between two Cape Town teams, UCT Bengals and Craft. I'm Darren and you're joined with Dylan. In studio today, we'll be bringing this game to you live.
Hi everyone. We're starting halfway through the first point. UCT has the disc. Looks like Kraft has come down with his own. Very unfortunate turn from the first pass.
Yeah, Kraft will look to capitalize on this. It's a very good opportunity for them to get an early break. So early, it's the first point.
Oh, and a great grab by Jane for the first score.
Yep, Eliza to Jane. That's 1-0 to Kraft. Very quick, very efficient.
So what we didn't get to see before this is a pretty low and flat pull from Kraft to an unfortunate drop. UCT gets the disc back, but then throws it away the next pass. Hopefully they can pick it up from here and just, get their nerve again. This being a semi-final, it can get to the younger players.
It can. It's always this unending story of youth versus experiences. Alice throws a swing to Lycia in the midfield.
It's quite interesting seeing Lycia as a handler, as she's normally a cutter. And sometimes we see those throws come through.
Yeah, no, adopting a new playing style. I guess being one of the more experienced players in this very youthful university team, but a different place for her to grow, which is it's good. It's good for her and I guess women's ultimate in general.
So just going to the play, Eliza and Liz are the two working off the field right now. Two of potentially the best lady handlers that we have in the country. Just you can see Eliza getting every other. She knows how to play in the wind. Now it's back to Liz.
Yeah, short movements between the handlers and then just getting some good uphill gains at times, but very patient on the disc by then.
There was a bit of a jam there. It seemed UCT lost their marks, probably when they shouldn't have. Eliza being left alone, but Liz goes for the pass.
It's over the head and Brogan collects in the end zone. Kraft break again. It's 2-0.
Those are the plays that we live for. The over the heads, the backing up from the other players in your team. It's what dreams are made of in Ultimate.
As Lauren's on the pull for Kraft, she sends that downfield and has it stayed in? It looks like it's out.
Yeah, the Cape Town wind is a tricky one. Some people think that playing downwind is easier than playing upwind. I would disagree with him. I think that downwind deceptively pushes the disc down more than upwind.
Yeah, no, and it makes, I guess, the shorter passes a lot harder. It comes a lot quicker and, well, demonstrated there's a good catch from a dump by Lycia. Francie, the German import this year for UCT, working around that cup, and UCT sort of break it, but it's back to static now. Lycia on the disc.
UCT's got quite an interesting way of playing here. It's just a lot of pops, not many swings, and then just jam, jam, jam. And I think Kraft has already adapted to that. This is the second time that they're playing this weekend, I believe. But there's a turn from Lycia to Francie. Unfortunate. That's what the jamming is going to get you sometimes. You're just going to suddenly get in the bread basket and you can't keep it in.
Yeah, Kraft committing about 5 people there to the disc and the wind obviously in their favour there. Tina over the top to, I think it's Jane again, or is it Kate?
I don't know, man. It's hard to see from up here.
It's hard to see. Kraft 3-0.
That was a nice little over-the-top backhand. As I said, with the whole downwind thing pushing the disc down, you go for those 10-meter passes. A pop pass is almost the best option.
Liza pulls.
Beautifully weighted past that last one, but nice pull for Liza, upwind. It's a tough wind here in Cape Town, as I've said. UCT still with that same thing, just putting it through the middle. Kraft not able to stop it right now.
They look to go for a diamond junkie sort of defense as it slips through, but let's say collects eventually. It's to Francie now. Is it up? Is it down?
I believe she has it on her leg. She's calling it up.
That's
2 points of contact, so she had control of the disc.
There we go. It's Erin now. She pops to Francie. UCT with some joy, and it's down. Unfortunately, Lycia's lay could not collect that. It's with Croft.
Yeah, Kate got the disc. She throws it to Liz. Liz in the middle. Liz took a little bit of sabbatical from Ultimate. Now is back. Really a beneficial player to have on your team. A handler that went to 2015 under 23 Worlds, so has been playing for quite some time. Knows herself and her throws.
And Eliza now working this midfield very patiently. The stall count gets high, but she finds a way to get open.
Croft is bunching a little bit right now, not seeming to commit to their cuts. And as I say that, they commit to their cuts, get a massive pass upfield, working it nicely, just taking the passes when they can. Liz gets the disc again.
She looks upfield, but there's not much going on for her.
Eliza having a bit of a dance party at the back, puts Liz under pressure, but Croft don't seem to be cracking under the pressure. They're just slowly working it up. UCT is putting some good defense on the handlers.
Well, he's on the disc now. She throws one very inside-outy backhandy to Liz, who gets down. And
I don't think that was for Liz. I think that was for Eliza, but Liz saves it to Marlies for the score.
It's up, and it's Croft. Croft are marching into 4-0. That was pretty quick.
Pool's gone up. Jane really working hard to get down there. It seems like they're going to put the zone on again. It just goes over Francie's head. She can't keep it in her hands.
And the wind playing its part, as you can see the banner in the background. It is blowing today. Marlies throws one to a very open Leah. There must have been some miscommunication on UCT's defense there.
I mean, it's difficult when you mess up that first pass. You don't know who's marking you, so how are you going to know who to mark?
That's very true. It was that. I forget that it was a no point for UCT, so having to scramble back there is not the easiest task, as you mentioned. And
seems like UCT called a timeout there. We skipped over a bit of it, but we're now ready for the next pool. Kraft is putting a pretty strong D-line. From what I can tell, quite a few handlers. You got Liz, you got Eliza. Unfortunately, can't see many of the people from this angle.
Yeah, no, I think Marlies will also be back for them again. As Liza pulls. That's up. This seems to go further than the other two. And that's really well done. Upwind.
Is it just me, or is the wind a different direction than it normally is at Wusa?
Yeah, I think it's going a bit across, so like from far, I guess what you're looking at, left corner to bottom right corner, is, I think that's Alice gives that one away.
I believe that was a hand block. So that was good work. Now Eliza to Liz. Liz holding up in that flick. She wants to throw it. She goes for that low release.
Marlies collects at the front corner. Is there an option? No, there's a pick.
Or Francie just wants to show us her muscles. Table
Mountains, yes.
Marlies with the disc. She's looking to jam it in. The disc is up, and indeed
that's by Erin. I think good work there. Just maybe try to force it a bit much. The wind again still showing its ugly head in this game. Francie and Licia, and Francie swings at double D. There's a bit of pin disc, not pinball. Eliza on the disc.
To Liz. Once again, UCT is just really trying to force it, and Liz gets that great throw to Lauren for the score.
One of the dangerous upfield players for Kraft, Lauren, very important cog in their team, as they continue their procession. 6-0 it is to win.
Currently Kraft just really showing that they can play in the wind, and UCT, unfortunately, their playstyle isn't matching what needs to be done with the zone that they're playing against. Lots of popping, but it's difficult when Kraft is noticed and they're just putting a lot of pressure on. But UCT fields the pool, goes to Licia, Alice, Licia, back to Alice.
There's a bit of good flow now. UCT are in the zone here, in a good way. Alice picks it up to Layla. Layla fakes and finds Licia again. Licia fakes now. Swings it infield to Alice. Alice sends it through. Oh, it's very progressive passes here. Layla sends one to the end zone. That's Mads. Bengals have 1. Croft 6. That's morale boosting. They definitely needed that. Probably sooner, but they'll take that for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a point that you need when you're 6-0 down. just to kind of stop the bleed, and it's an upwind point with lots of great throws through the zone, kind of showing them that they don't need to do that jamming play style that they've had until now, trying to abuse the holes in the zone.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure they really want to get this upwind point for them now as well. Bit of a double whammy as Liz finds more leads in the midfield.
Currently UCT's zone not proving too effective, but they put on their side trap and they get the turn with the inside break, not going to hands.
Yeah, it is. Francie now with it. She finds Alice with the inside. Leak back to Francie. Over the top to Alice. There's some nice flow going, but not much happening from the cutters as Francie continues. That's the double whammy that UCT wanted.
Whenever you get that upwind point in Cape Town, it's almost the most important thing to just put such a strong line for your D-line downwind. Otherwise that team just has the opportunity to get the break right back.
We see the UCT men's contingent, the Man Cubs, showing their support. This is one united club for sure. As Francie pulls about halfway, just more.
So UCT at this tournament has 3 teams, 2 in the open division, 1 in the women's, but a huge pass goes up.
That's Kate sending it long and
collected by Jane.
Postage stamp. That was quick and efficiently done. 7-2 to Croft. They need 1 more to get to half here.
Very easy way to score with 1 pass. Those are the perfect points, to be honest. A handler, you walk to the disc, you pick it up, you throw it, you walk off the field. And there goes Eliza with another big pull. That one goes up. Kind of lost it for a while, and there it is, about halfway up the field.
Back, a bit of a meg there. Francie stepping over it, but composure holds. She finds Alice in midfield.
Seems to be a very handler-driven offense. They're not often finding the gaps through to the...
they're certainly finding it there. That is one walking procession of whoa, and it's up again, and unfortunately down. Erin couldn't quite get that one as Croft just swats it out the air. Liz on it for Croft.
You can see with both teams kind of the core players that they're using in this windy condition, and kind of just looking to reset the disc until they can make their way properly upfield. And there's that opportunity to go upfield to Lauren. She has the disc. Liz streaking up the line. Liz seems to get it again. She wants that backhand. Do it, Liz.
Directing play there, Liz. Sends one up the line again to Eliza. A mark not quite on her, as she has all the time in the world to find Lauren in the end zone. It's 8-2 to Croft. That is half time. That was very efficiently done by them.
As I said, it's just, let's just reset until we have the opportunity to go upfield. They've been doing that well this whole game. There's no point in forcing it upfield. We're always going to get a reset to come off, and Croft is just doing well with that. UCT struggling a little bit to keep that momentum. Those quick poppy passes work a lot of the time until, you know, a pass just comes that you're not expecting, and you put it down.
Yeah, no, like you said, Croft relying very much on their handlers to keep them the disc and just wait for those opportunities. I'm guessing UCT will look for that to shut down. As the second half begins, UCT come out with zone.
It's more of a war, but an interesting zone with forcing upfield and not letting a backwards throw. You don't often see these in South Africa. The difficult part is if you're not able to stop that swing, or I say difficult part as the disc is turned, but if you're not able to stop that swing, then they're going to swing around the 4 people you're committing to the disc.
Can do, as their Croft zone isn't quite set up, and UCT miss a bit of an opportunity to capitalize on that. Will they go again with the zone? It seems that there are 4 people converging around it as Liz and Liza have some fun in the midfield.
Again, that zone allows for a bit of a popping situation, as Liz puts a pretty good throw up. Unfortunately, it goes through the hands.
Yes, and Croft seem to have set their zone up now.
There comes a blade across the field. Good catch by Alice.
He centers this out, finds Francie, and again to Alice. A lot of penetration through the middle for UCT, but that unfortunately goes down. It's now on the right hand sideline for Croft. As
Eliza has the disc. it's a very interesting shape for a zone. It does mean that you have different angles to break through. But I assume in the more windy days, like today, it would be efficient because you're making the backwards pass a lot more difficult than it normally is. You're making the handlers work rather than just stand and collect the disc.
Yeah, they're still seeming to get it quite easily crashing through the cup. I'm sure the couple want to collapse a bit quicker and more efficiently there. Marley's on it. Gets eventually to Eliza's hands. She sends one over the top to Liz. It's a bit dangerous.
I would call that a very cheeky throw for these conditions.
All's well. There's a call now.
It seems to be a foul, uncontested. Now the disc goes to Eliza. Eliza breaks to Marlies. Marlies looking upfield. Back to Marlies. They're playing all these 1-2s. The cup just isn't able to stay with them, and the cup unfortunately just full of holes at the moment.
Yeah, no, must be a very tiring point for them as Kraft cannot unfortunately find their receiver in the end zone. Alice picks up now for UCT. Will they send this one long or keep playing their short passing handler style? Finds its way to Rose, I think that is, yes. And unfortunately, the wind still is here.
As you can see by that gazebo in the background, the wind today is not doing us any favors. Kraft still playing well in these conditions, goes up to Liz, gets the disc, just throws the easy backhand to Jane for the score.
That's probably a third one of this game. Oh no, we have a call. And waving and muscle showing is a pick. It looks like. Nope, retracted. Score for Jane.
So I believe that was if the pick does not affect the play, then the play stands. Probably one of my favorite adaptations of the rule, or of ultimate rules.
No, that's good use of them. And I agree with you completely. It really lets good plays with almost. It takes the pettiness out of some calls, which is good to see.
Now let's see what the disc. UCT just in that zone the whole time. Francie gets the disc. It seems that Kraft has definitely learned from their previous game and the first few points of this one, and they're just crowding that disc. And
good swing by Francie upfield to Alice, and unfortunately I think it goes through Gemma's hand. She can't quite collect that. Mads is on the disc now for UCT's marking. I think it's on Marlies. She finds some joy up the line and sends one that goes down in the end zone.
Kraft also playing this kind of very give-go tactic, throw the frisbee, get it back, kind of like UCT as well, kind of in this game, very much relying on handlers getting flow and then passing it down to cutters.
A really good sequence of dump swinging out of there for UCT to get them about 10 meters further up the field. Oh, it's a lay! Lysia, good grab there.
Lysia with the Harley's backhand, interesting pass.
Greatness conserved still. Alice dumps it off to Lysia.
Did you see how Alice faked on the wrong foot? Anyway, there's a big pass up. Many players there.
Oh, good collection from Mads, I think. She goes through. There's a call, it looks like.
A little bit difficult to tell from the hand gestures what happened. UCT came down with it. Whether or not that affected anything. Cool, so is that the uncontested hand signal?
Seems like it's uncontested of some kind, but we'll wait because we truly can't hear what's going on here. Foul's called, it goes back to the thrower.
I need to check that rule. So if it's a defensive foul, goes back to thrower because it was uncontested. Don't quite know what the rules say for that situation, but I guess as long as they're all happy, it's all good. Goes for the Harley's backhand again and is hand blocked this time.
Doesn't quite work out. Lightning doesn't strike twice, not here, not many places. And it's down again for Kraft, unfortunately.
Look, these are really tough conditions to play Ultimate in. As playing for Mutiny earlier this weekend, it's basically just a zone fest for almost all the teams. We're playing on two fields, this one in the Rhodes Rec field for UCT, at UCT. Ooh, a little unfortunate drop there in the second layout drop. Anyway, these fields are a lot less windy than the other fields that UCT has.
And yeah, we can still see them struggling here. As it's a good read by Tina. She throws over the top, and not today, not getting into Lauren's hands quite there. A bit of a coin slot. Still, Kraft threatening. That's about their third opportunity they've had thrown into the end zone, but not really looking like they are going to concede this point. UCT struggling to get out there, but 15-20 meters away from the end zone. So maybe this is the point. Maybe this is the point in this point where they get further up the field and can threaten upwind as it's down.
A nice little around break, unfortunately just at her ankle, so she couldn't pick it up. Kraft with the disc, sets it vert. Harley's backhand with that score again. That Harley's backhand for Kraft has really just been so potent. From the fronter stack, a really easy cut. It's a difficult cut to mark as well, especially with that Harley's backhand downwind.
Yep, and that's Kraft. They're 10-2 ahead. Ellis picks up. Throws a quick one to Francie. She fakes often and sends it back to Ellis.
So Kraft seem to be focusing on the handlers now anytime that UCT is looking at them, which is a good strategy with how UCT is playing. But if UCT does this little quick give goes, I'm pretty sure they can't stop them. Great grab. He's just taking her time. That was some good choices there to not just rush it upfield.
Well done. That's Gemma. Alice now on it. She dumps it off to Francie. There's a swing available, and it's unfortunately dropped by Lucia in the midfield. Kraft again on the disc. Let's see if they have any joy upwind. They'll probably again look to their handlers as Liza and Liz start their procession. Very
similar playstyles. These kind of like forcing throws upfield. Ooh, forces it a bit much there though.
It's not too much for Lauren as Alice picks up, sends one down the line. It's Francie now, and that can't find Lucia in the midfield.
I believe that was the clap of shame, where you clap and it goes through your hands. That one hurts. Ooh, a massive hand block.
That's Alice on Liza. That's a bit of a point changer. Now Alice on it again. Let's see if she can follow this up.
Liza's probably very hungry for this turn. She's looking upfield, stopping that continuation, which is good work from her. Unfortunately, the zone's just not stopping the rest of the passes.
Francie Lucia to Francie to Gemma. A huge celebration as it brings them their third point. They still believe they are in this, and why not? It's 10-3 to Kraft. Let's see what the UCT Bengals can still do.
There's been a lot of players that have played a lot of points in this game.
As the disc goes to about halfway, Alice marking, and it's Kate on the disc now. She fakes flicks and sends one up the line.
Ooh, Lauren just couldn't keep it in her hands. Once again, that downwind pass is just so difficult to put touch on it. You really got to throw it late so that you ensure that your player can catch it. Lucia with that little Harley's backhand again. She is not going to get hand blocked, or that's what she's telling herself. Lauren might be telling herself otherwise.
Well, she's on it now. She fakes inside and sends one back to Francie. Looking for some progress, but the wind catching that one, just not the right direction on that disc. You know?
I think she just angled it. Well, she threw it from a bit too high. She threw a Harley's upwind, which is just so difficult.
Oh, good grab in the middle there.
Big put goes up and a bit far. These points are starting to lengthen as I said, some players are just playing so much.
Yeah, a few mistakes in that corner there for Kraft, but I guess still they're probably still feeling comfortable with the 10-3 lead, and playing this point upwind, they'll still be very confident of getting it.
This is the danger corner. This is where the wind is blowing people towards. This is not a bad place for Kraft to have turned the disc, because UCT are really going to struggle to get it out of here, especially with Kraft adapting to the zone offense that UCT is playing. And as I say that throw upwind, as I said, is just so difficult.
I don't know, even with this very tight person commitment in that sense. And yeah, I guess the strategy seemed a bit forced up the line there. Tina on the disc now for Kraft. She sends one into that corner of, I don't know, ambiguity. There's a lot of good and bad stuff happening there, but Brogan collects that one. I think that's a second for the game.
Usually with good commitment, kind of a layout there, almost got the disc, kind of putting the pressure on, but still got the catch, still got the score. Kraft 11-3 up.
Liza sends one to just past halfway. It hovers nicely like a hummingbird as Lycia's on it for UCT. She sends one back to Francie. Back to Lycia.
Kraft constantly making that decision. Are they going to mark the person or are they going to put on a zone? And as I say that, they mark the person and it just goes through. It seems like they committing a person to at least one of the handlers, and it seems to be Francie.
Yeah, Francie on the disc now. There's a lot of hand waving on from her mark. I think that's Emma for Kraft. Lycia collects along the line, sends one up to Francie. She swings it off back to Lycia, swings it slightly towards the midfield. It's Alice, it's Lycia, it's Francie. This is some good flow going now as they score off it once again. UCT really capitalizing on those moments of flow to get them up the field just outside the end zone and convert again. It's 11-4 to Kraft.
Kraft really going to want to put this one to bed. So we're playing a power pool right now. There's 3 women's teams in it. Whichever one has the most points scored, or whoever one has the most games won, will win the power pool and therefore win the tournament.
There's a good grab in midfield there by Jane, and another good grab by Liza, being tightly marked by Lycia. She's trying to stop that, I think, round throw. She does call. A lot of hand waving going on in the midfield.
Best way to get people's attention, use hand signals. No language barriers here, but hand signals are beneficial to us.
Oh, is that a stall out? Seems someone was touching the hit. Yep, it's a stall out on Eliza. Good job by the UCT defense for that.
What is good to see is UCT decided to play man instead of zone, and I think, UCT decided to play person instead of zone, and I think that's just beneficial as a slightly more youthful team. As they turn the disc, throws it over Lycia, just points the disc towards the wind, and the wind takes it.
No, it's just unfortunately a ton of unforced errors in this game. As the disc goes deep to Jane, collected. Another point for her, another point for Kraft. It's 12-4.
The wind taketh and the wind giveth away, and the wind did that all for Kraft. Good work for Kraft to capitalizing on that one, and this pool only goes halfway up, maybe not even.
Yes, UCT will licking their lips for this one. Is a good opportunity for them as a floppy disc finds Alice in the midfield. Back to Francie. She swings one wide. It's over the head of Layla, I believe, who unfortunately can't collect that one.
Again, that throw is just, it seems to be coming out high release every time from Francie, and that's just a difficult catch, or a difficult one to control with the wind that we have, as it's jammed up the line for multiple attempts of catches, and UCT comes down with it.
Yeah, well collected, well read there, UCT player. As it's dropped in the midfield again, unfortunately, just struggling to find that, struggling to capitalize on their turns here, UCT.
And Liz striking up the line, she's so open, gets the disc. This is the moment that Liz can really do what she wants, and unfortunately what she wanted was the disc on the floor.
Not the popular choice amongst players. As well, UCT have this disc now deep on the end zone line. In fact, thankfully for them it's upwind, but we've seen Kraft get downwind. Excuse me. We've seen Kraft sort of feel no pain with that. They've broken a lot upwind for themselves, so they'll almost be excited about having the disc right on UCT's end zone.
And UCT's really been struggling to work it against the zone because of how Kraft has adapted. She's kind of getting stressed. Alice eventually to Francie, and the disc goes up. Callahan Country drops it. That was the chance, the dream that we all have, to score a Callahan, to throw a greatest. That was one of the two. Alice with the disc, just an easy throw for the score.
Oh, no one on the... But a miscommunication again there by UCT. Unfortunately, no one even setting a force. So, very easy job there for Liz. As Eliza signals her readiness, and all the other craft players a bit too eager there.
I think they just wanted to get on the other side of her so she could have space for the pull. As she goes and she puts it up. Big pull downwind.
Laser there. All grabbed by Alice as it finds its way up into Francie's hands. She breaks inside, finds Lucia, fakes upfield, finds Francie towards the middle. Alice now goes back to Alice. Nice. This is got through for Francie.
Alice throwing really nice low release throws that are just going through the zone. And another hand block for Kraft. That's about the 4th one this game.
It's Leah this time in her red hood. Lies on it. Not much going upfield. Cut from the front and stack. It's over her. And that's down. UCT with another chance to hopefully find some flow, get some field joy. As Alice is being stalled on the disc here. She does find one out to Francie. Francie to Lucia. Alice again.
Forward goes up. She has a second chance and she gets it.
A bit of a boomerang. But it's Alice now with a good low swing.
That's allowed because Francie touched it before it came back to her. Good work from Alice to just be aware enough to get that.
Really nice one break. There's a bit of joy going upfield for UCT, finding another cutters for a change. As Francie hits Alice. Fakes off Francie again, but finds it eventually. It's up and over the top.
And Eliza just brings it down. Good work as the mid. If the disc goes up, you're hungry, you go get it. And a big throw comes up.
Kate sending it long. Oh, way to get in there by Alice. Is there a call? No, it's not. It's a really good D by her. Going over the shoulder, overhead. She's making a great contribution for UCT at this point. Is Alice.
Alice, Lucia, Francie, they've played almost every point. A very deserving timeout right now. UCT definitely need this point. So yeah, it was a great choice to kind of get their breath and make sure that especially their core players are able to push hard for the rest of this point.
Yeah, no. They all once again would love some joy from this. But that being said, it's a whole something seems to be going on here in the middle of the timeout. A Macarena of sorts. This is great distraction tactic. It's got me very distracted.
I mean, Darren, is it not weird how you're both speaking to me here and doing the Macarena?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Darren.
And there's the UCT men, they're joining in, all of them having loads of fun. Cornet walking back from the other side, not joining in the Macarena. He's really missing out from that one.
No, I think we all have our modes of fun. Why get everyone involved in this? No, let's that one's done. We're done now. Sam's very happy he plays for the men's team.
Yeah, UCT really just have some great camaraderie at the moment. And I mean, the club is striving with it again. 3 teams at this tournament. That's pretty much the most that any club in South Africa has and will have for quite some time.
Yeah, no. UCT really proving again why there's such a good feeder system for not even just Cape Town Ultimate in South Africa. So we'll hope to see many more of these years. There's another discussion going on here after the timeout. I'm thinking
this could perhaps be about cap. We should be close to it now at 13-4 with some of the longer points that we've played. The discussions keep going on. It probably just takes us closer to cap anyway.
So either that or I wonder if UCT have used all the timeouts.
No, this was definitely the second or third timeout.
Are we all missing the points in between though?
That is a good point, Darren. That is how you are both here and there at the same time. You should know what this discussion is about because you are there in the discussion. As you walk away looking at your watch, I think this probably has to do with time. UCT now ready to pick up the disc.
We'll call it that. Alice picking up for UCT. eventually. They're just doing the check to see if everyone's ready, offense ready, defense ready. Rolls up the sleeves. We in the commentary box are ready for this as disc is in.
UCT go with their usual strategies, crashing the cup. Oh, Alice puts it down, jumps into the disc, it's a bit lower than she thought it was.
Unfortunately, that time are not really paying dividends for UCT as Eliza's on it. She sends one through to Jane, the perennial collector in the end zone for Kraft. And they have hit their match point. It's 14-4.
Kraft really playing a good game this game, just taking the options that they know they should. There have been quite a lot of turns, but they've been playing such good defense that I think they're pretty confident they would get it back, as Eliza puts a pretty low pull that just kind of stops where it went.
A bit of a worm killer there as Alicia picks up the UCT.
Just looking at Francie right now, it's difficult. She throws the Harleys, goes over the head.
The wind not taking favour to that one either, sending it a bit further than I think Lucia intended to, as Liz picks it up on the right hand sideline for Kraft. Liza.
Ooh, Eliza broke some ankles, but Liz threw it a bit too high. Liz a little bit disappointed, saying sorry for that one, running backwards after her mark. UCT with the next throw, straight away a turn. Now that is unfortunate. Picks up the disc.
We have one player from Kraft deep in the end zone alone by herself, but all wisely, I think, by Marlies looked off. They know they have a lot of time to still win this game as Lauren hits it back to Eliza, who tumbles.
I don't think that is tumbles, I think that was bounced, if we were going to use the South African terms.
A bit of rugby and everything in South Africa, it seems, as Eliza composes herself, finds Liz upfield. It's a good bid by Marianne from UCT, but makes its way to the right hand sideline for Kraft, as Liz unfortunately lets that one go in the end zone. She's been throwing a lot towards it, unfortunately couldn't catch one herself for a change. Layla, it's down by UCT. Kraft with another opportunity to seal this deal as Eliza finds Lauren, who trots off into the distance, does a little twirly-whirly celebration disky thing, and gets
picked up by the opposition. Well done to Kraft for this game. They really performed well in the windy conditions that they are. Really just putting touch upwind, able to make the hand resets, and downwind, kind of taking the shots to put UCT under a lot of pressure, and then putting their zone on, and really just taking this home.
Yeah, no, Kraft making a huge statement there for their final game with Hot Sauce.
I'm here with Sandra, Eliza and Lauren after the Kraft game. Fantastic win for you guys. Just want to ask you some questions before you go off to your final game. Firstly, favourite moments of the tournament so far? It's been a really good tournament for all of us.
I think my favourite moment of the tournament is playing with my team, playing with the team that we have been building on getting to the final of this tournament. So I think the entire tournament in itself has been a great culmination of training and fantastic coaching. Yeah.
Awesome, and building on that, expectations for the last game against Hot Sauce. How are we feeling? Ready? Excited?
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
What were your results against them?
We lost to them yesterday, 9-8.
Okay.
So very tight.
So it's going to be an exciting one.
I think it's going to be a very hotly contested game. I think the wind. I think the wind is definitely going to play a role in strategy from both sides. So I think it's going to be a great game.
Awesome. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Funniest moment, Eliza.
Megan from Hot Sauce was in the end zone and she kind of caught the disc and then she fumble, kick, and while falling over, caught it.
And it was a score.
Yes.
And it was a score.
She got
I mean, that's what you need at the end of the day. That's what you need at the end
And
of
it
the
was
day.
the difference.
Both teams
Celebrated that equally.
Yeah, that's exactly perfect. And then recap of this game that you just played against UCT is 15-4.
Yeah.
Any main things that you remember? What did you go into the game feeling? How did you act on after a tough game on Monday in the league?
Yeah, so I think just to give everyone a little bit of a recap. So we played UCT ladies twice during league. We lost to them once, beat them once, which means coming into this nationals it could have gone either way. We beat them on Friday night in the pool play, So we were expecting this to be a tough game, which it was. I don't think the scoreline reflected how much effort we had to put in on the field. So big ups to them. They're a very young, up and coming team, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do in the future.
Yeah, fantastic. And then final thing, most spirited match. What was your most spirited match of the tournament? Where do you think the spirited frisbee was really shown to its best?
I feel like our game against Hot Sauce was so tightly contested, and it was just beautifully played. Everyone on the field was just supportive of each other's play, and both teams really brought it. We hope to see the same from them in the final.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. All right. Well, thanks. That's it up. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sandra.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for a fantastic tournament. You guys have been so awesome. Last game against Kraft finished 15-4. Tough loss. What were some of your favorite moments of the whole tournament? Some of your highlights, best moments?
I'll say Francie's layouts were really good. She got the layout in the end zone.
You had a nice
today.
one as well.
Yeah, I'm hurting because of it.
As a result, so layouts, I got a hand block on Eliza today, which was great.
Nice.
Yeah. I also feel like there was a match yesterday where we all just like became a team. Yeah. And that was really nice. Sucks away.
Cool. And then game recap of this one. How did you feel it went? Obviously, tough loss after playing them twice in the week before this. How did we feel it went?
I think we didn't come out strong enough. We came out with a 5-0 down the first couple of points, and we definitely started fighting back. Those first 5 points they got easy, and we had a chat and we brought it back. The rest of the scores, even though the score was still like quite a big difference, we fought, and it didn't look like we were losing by that much.
I don't think the score reflected how hard our girls were working.
Funniest moment of the tournament? 2 nice questions to end.
Dropping my first pool. Sorry.
That sounds like a fine for after the tournament to me.
Definitely a fine.
Any other
Anything else
funny
you can think
moments?
of? Anyone else get very badly sunburned?
I would have had it. Looking up when you're on the other sideline and just seeing Cornet with his head pulled up and his arms scowling. That was first thing in the morning as well. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's the way to go. Yeah? The way to go. And you've enjoyed having him as your coach. This is your first nationals with him.
He's been a great coach.
One of the best in the game.
I think one of the most funny moments as well is Darren and his sombrero hat. Water bottle.
Incredible, yeah. Someone called it a burrito.
Nice.
Side of the field. And then finally, most spirited match. We had games against like the Nalas from the University of Fort Hare, who obviously were super highly spirited, always highly spirited. Hot Sauce, obviously your sister playing on one of the teams. Well, and obviously lots of friends playing in all of the teams. So, which was your most spirited match? Any highlights from that side of the thing?
I personally think this morning's game against Hot Sauce was very spirited. They were amazing on all fronts, communication, fair-mindedness, all of it. So that personally for me, and it's always fun playing against your friends and your sister. So yeah, Kat got a Callahan.
Like against Francie as well. Hey, I heard about that.
No, against me.
Okay.
Francie threw it.
That sounds like some
but
conspiracy stuff.
I had skied her like 5 seconds earlier. So
high difference too.
Yeah,
well
exactly.
So it's a 1-1 on the sisters.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much.
Thank you, the tournament organisers.
Yeah.
Really great tournament. You guys
Thanks, guys.
pulled it off.
Yeah.
Really
just about.
Awesome. It was